Hi there, Mike MacArthur from the Oshkosh Public Library here with a bit more Librarian Learns. This is the show where I take a look at a piece of Oshkosh history that I've often wondered about myself or someone's asked me about while I was working at the library. Today I'm actually going back to Ceape Street with Lee Reiherzer. Lee had so many great stories about the people and the taverns and the businesses on Ceape Street that I couldn't fit it all into one video. So we get a little more of Lee talking about one of the iconic businesses of Ceape Street, Robert Brand & Sons. Now, they made lots of things, but in the 1880s, they really made their name with making bars. It was a good time to be making bars in Oshkosh, as Lee will talk about. So, without any further vamping from me, let's get back to Lee on Ceape and hear about Brand & Sons.
All right. So, if you've ever gone bar hopping around Oshkosh, you may have come in contact with something that originated over there, just west of the fire department. That was the original home of Robert Brand & Sons Company. So they made a lot of bars. Now, it all starts with Robert Brand. He was born in 1840 in Scotland. His family came to America when he was still a boy, and they settled in southern Wisconsin. He ends up fighting in the Civil War, and after the war, 1866, he gets word that there's this happening place called Oshkosh. So he moves up here, and he's already a skilled woodworker at this point. He's learned this trade from his father, and he builds a factory over there where he starts building boats. Well, around this same time, this is when Oshkosh saloons are really starting to, the saloon count is really starting to go up. So Brand starts making bar fixtures, back bars, booths, stools, everything you'd need for a bar. And this side of his business really takes off. In the 1880s, that's when you have this explosion of neighborhood saloons going up in Oshkosh. And by 1890, Oshkosh has 90 saloons. And the population then is just 23,000, so it tells you these saloons were popular places. And a lot of these saloons had bars and back bars built by Brand & Company. Now, that building there, the facility that was there, burned down in 1908. So Brand moved across the street to the old Oshkosh Furniture Company and kept going again. In 1920, of course, Prohibition comes, and the bar building business kind of falls apart. Okay, so Prohibition ends in 1933, and Brand & Sons get back into building bars. And this is when they really kind of flourish. They start building these beautiful Art Deco-style bars. And if you ever want to see an example of one of these, the bar they built in 1936 is in Oblio's. And it's one of these classic style, Art Deco-style bar and back bar. Brand & Sons ends up being sold in 1964 to the Chadwick Company. 1967, Chadwick Company closes down this facility. In 1968, the Brand facility was torn down. One of the last bars to come out of that place was the bar that went into the Pioneer Inn. But if you still want to see some of these bars, there's a number of them around Oshkosh. Bob's Trails End has a pre-Prohibition Brand bar. Woodchuck's over on Rosalia has a Brand bar. Oblio's, like I mentioned, has a Brand bar. Andy's Pub and Grub has a Brand bar. In Butamore, the White House Inn has a Brand bar. So they're still around town, and most of them still look really great.
So hey, I learned something. If you like these videos and want to see more, hit like, hit subscribe, comment, tell your friends, go back and watch some of the old ones. If you want to learn more about Brand & Sons, head over to the Oshkosh Beer blog, where you can find all sorts of history on beer, brewing, taverns and bars in Oshkosh, courtesy of Lee. Or you can pick up one of his 2 books here at the Oshkosh Public Library. Lee also contributed a chapter in Randy Domer's forthcoming book, Remember When, covering more history about the Brand & Sons Company. So you can check that out when it comes out in May of 2025. And with that, I will see you later.